I forgot I was on the other account, but hey guys, today I felt called to do a reading. I'm a little sick, so bear with me. This message isn't going to resonate for everybody. What I'm really getting is that this message is particularly for people who have ascended or are ascending to 4D consciousness and are trying to help other people ascend to 4D consciousness, and the earth itself, in its ascension, or the earth's in the middle of 3D and 4D right now, so a lot of people are still in the 3D while some people are already in the 4D. And I was specifically getting a message about while you are leveling up, and really you're just on a whole different level. Like, you are doing things that haven't been done before. While you're doing that, there's people in competition with you. And I don't know why I felt this energy, but I felt called to talk about it. Spirit, what's this energy that I'm feeling? First of all, who's competing? Who is this energy that's competing? We have 9 of Swords in reverse. We have Ace of Wands in reverse. Spirit, give me one more card. We have 8 of Pentacles. So this is definitely a karmic energy. If you've had karmic people in the past who you know for sure are still hung up on you, this could definitely be them. For some of you, I'm getting this is just haters in general. We always got haters. Everyone's always got haters, no matter who it is. 222 on the clock when I said that. So you might know specifically who these people are or could be, or it could just be like someone in your workplace, somebody watching your social media, someone from your family, someone from your friend group. Like, it could be anyone. But the major thing about these people is that they are still in 3D consciousness. I want to go ahead and say that part of your soul contract for coming onto this earth is helping these people who are low vibrational. By you already being in 4D consciousness and doing your thing, even these haters, even these people in low vibration who are hating on you, and giving you dirty looks, like, you are helping them too. Even if they aren't receptive to your message, to your 4th-dimensional message, because they can only see from a 3D perspective, you are still helping them towards that, to step towards that, even if it's just them hating on you or projecting on you. You are still meant as a soul contract. You came to this earth to help those people as well. So you got to realize that sometimes helping somebody isn't always going to look like helping them, especially with this confusing 4D, 3D energy. Like, a lot of stuff is going to get more confusing when it has to do with liking somebody, not liking somebody, duality, facing duality and figuring out duality in all things in life at every moment in your daily life is part of the first steps towards 4D consciousness. So it's just going to be a little bit muddy as in terms of who you're helping out. You're helping out people whether they like you or not. And that's really your energy that you're bringing to the table. You're bringing in healing. You're bringing in your 4D consciousness perspective. And how people perceive that is their own projection. Now, what's part of the reason these people are so upset by what you're doing, by whatever they're watching you do, or is because their perception is limited. So they're seeing your work or your words or whatever you're doing, and you're already in 4D consciousness, if that makes sense. You're already operating from the 4D vibration, but they are seeing it from the 3D vibration. So they're only getting a very limited view of what you're doing. And so to them, it looks a particular way. That's not the full picture. To them, it might look, oh, this person's demonic, or this person's doing this, or this person's doing that. That's because they have a limited 3D perception view, if that makes sense. And so this is what it was. It's specifically in competition with you, but it's in a delusional way. So for some of you, these are just your common haters, your common trolls. But for some of you, this is someone particular who is really in their head, 555 on the clock when I said that. They might be an air sign. But they're looking at you and they're looking at what you're doing. Or they might be on your social media or something. And how do I explain this? When you do something that's just you expressing yourself, they perceive it as competition with them, even if you're not talking to this person at all, or you haven't responded to this person's energy, you haven't reacted. It's like this person's 3D mindset has them having a 3D projection of you. They see you, they're still in the 3D, they're seeing your 4D consciousness and expressions from the 3D perspective, and they have it in their head that you are competing with them. So like if you post something on social media, if you express, like if you say something to one of your friends and they hear about it, or one of your family members and they hear about it, they think you are specifically saying that about them, or to get at them, or it's some secret code that has to do with them. It's this weird energy. And it's really because they are in the 3D and they're perceiving your 4D consciousness as having to do with them. It's a little bit self-centered, and you're like projecting stuff out into the world that's just your understanding of the fourth dimension. But to them, they're still in the 3D vibration, and they're perceiving that in a way where they think it's competition with them. And so they're seeing this projection they've made of you, the 3D version of you, of their version of events that they can see and understand from their limited perspective of what you're doing. And they're taking that view of you and they're competing with. They're taking that projection, that 3D projection of like, it's basically a piece of what you are, a small piece of what you actually are. And they're projecting everything onto that. And they think they are in competition with that little piece of you. It's like they're competing with that. And it's particularly a lot of anger, a lot of trauma, anger, a lot of wounds and fear that this person's projecting. Like it's a lot of anger. For some of you, this person could even be projecting their own sexual frustrations on you. This is giving me an angry energy, so I don't think it's like sexual energy. I think it's just anger that has to do with sexual energy. Or this person might see you as sexually deviant or a seductor, like you're incubus or succubus or something. But again, let me say, these are what they're seeing of you is their own 3D projection and perception from what they are able to see from their own 3D vibration they have right now. But for some of you, these people really might actually think that you are competing with them. Like they're only competing with a small little mirror version of you, but they think that they're actually competing with the real you, because they don't have the capacity to understand that you're more than just what they think about you, I guess, if that makes sense, or how they perceive you in the situation. And it's hard to explain. The reason it's so hard to explain is because the energy from this 3D person is, I'm trying to translate it in a 3D way at the same time that I'm feeling your fourth dimensional energy that is just not, you can't explain 3D things and 4D things. the same way. It kind of takes a different energy to be able to explain it. And that's why there's such a huge deficit between what you actually are and the version, the tiny 3D version of you that this person is thinking that they're competing with. Let me just say this projection has nothing to do with you. It really is just their own perception, their 3D perceptions of what they need to do to get past their 3D material things that are like keeping them chained down. It's their own projection of that is what they've made into their 3D projection of you. So basically they're just competing with their own shadow self. They're just using you in your like physical form as like a blueprint. And when I say physical form, I just mean physical form, because they have no way of understanding your mindset of where you're at right now, or like the vibe that you're on right now. This person be in their head. This is a Nine of Swords, even though it's in reversed. It's because this person tries to pretend like they have the perfect life. They try to pretend like they don't constantly have anxiety, that they aren't overthinking things to the point they make themselves crazy. And it's projecting onto you. It's like they'll see something you do and they'll be competing with it, but they'll also be thinking, oh, I bet I can see all the little insecurities that pile up, or there's no piles here. I can see all the little insecurities that the collective has. I know that they're just as anxious and scared as I am, but they're just pretending. No, the collective isn't pretending anything. The collective's real right now. The collective's expressing their true self. These people stalking you are the ones who are projecting that energy onto you of like, oh, I'm just pretending to be happy. Which is why it circles back to karmic here. This is literally the card 8 of Pentacles. For me, this deck specifically, this means karmic. And I don't know. That's why it's karmic, because this is a projection. Not only is it that, but karmic situations are usually happening to help each other in a way. Soul contract, it's usually not fun at all. It's always really hard with karmic situations. But again, like how I was saying earlier, how you are actually helping this person in a way with giving with them like constantly drinking in your 4D expressions, even though they're seeing it from a 3D perspective, and even though they're just making a projection of you out of it just to compete with that projection of you, they're still learning from this. They're still karmically learning from this, and they are karmically attached to this and to you. You are not karmically attached to them because you are already in the 4D. If you are still in the 3D, you might still be like attached to them, but because you've risen to the 4D, you've detached from that. And that might be why this person is becoming so attached to you recently, or these haters are becoming so attached to you recently, these 3-dimensional haters, because when you rise to that 4D, people who are still in the 3D are not going to understand. And especially people who were like past lovers, past friends, past family members, who you cut off, those people who have like an attachment to you in some way are going to feel especially personal when you are glowing up, when you are rising into your energy, into your healing. They're going to have a special attachment to it, especially if they haven't healed their own karmic patterns. They're going to be like looking at you like, well, how did you do that? How are you in a good space? And projecting onto you. So I hope this made sense. I really do think that this person is just like, this is just what happens when you rise to 4D consciousness, is these 3D people are also going to be perceiving that. And since they're only in the 3D, they're going to see it in a 3-dimensional way. So they're not going to understand the full picture, and they're going to be confused. And because they're still in 3D, they're probably still like in duality. So they might be hating, they might be judging, things like that, because they don't understand that they're just judging themselves. So that's just going to happen, especially with the earth trying to, in the transition between 3D and 4D consciousness, and so many people still stuck in the past world, the past generations, the past consciousness, 3D. It's going to happen a lot. And that's why we got to protect the youth, because they are most vulnerable. so many children are already open to 4D consciousness, but we need to protect them from those people who are stuck in their karmic patterns and stuck in 3D consciousness and will judge and project onto those children. So that's an important message for some of you. Some of you might be interested in going into like a daycare sort of business, like watching over children, some kind of community service, what's it called? Company, like a YMCA or something like that. Like something where you're helping social services, or for particularly some of you, watching over children, because you do realize that a lot of children are more open to 4D conscious right now and need more protection because of that, because of the transition between vibrations for the earth right now. Like the earth and the matrix itself has been transitioning from 3D vibration to 4D vibration for a while. We are closer to the 4D vibration now, but we are still kind of in the transitionary period, especially with so many people staying stuck. That's the problem, is there's so many people who are stuck in the 3D thing. Like they can't let go of it. They can't let go of that old, like, familiar sort of feeling. And there's always a struggle that comes with the transition period. There's always like a struggle that comes with change where you have to like shift with it, if that makes sense. Is there any other messages that I needed to say? Because I feel like I got out exactly what the message was. For those who needed it, for my earth angels, my light workers, I'm looking out for y'all. I got you. Y'all are, spirits wants to say that y'all are doing well. Y'all are doing exactly what you're meant to do. You're getting it done. You're doing it well. Your fourth dimensional tasks, your self-healing, your shadow work. You are on the right track. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I'll go ahead and say these last messages now. Temperance tells me that you need rest time and to stay balanced. When you're feeling overwhelmed, take a step back and really do some like breath work, meditation. This is a time to be saying out loud what you want, but also being grateful. And this is a time to not overthink or overplan for the future. Recognize that you're already taking the steps you need. Take the steps you already have and you already need, and you're good. Balance that out with rest. Balance that out with rest times, and say to yourself, I'm doing this. I'm staying balanced. I'm staying on top of things. Say it out loud so you can feel confident that you can keep this balance going forward. Because for some of you, it's like you're even between 3D and 4D consciousness sometimes. Like you'll fall back to 3D consciousness sometimes for karmic reasons or because of self-doubt. But it's lack of temperance that's doing that to you. Once you have temperance, you'll be able to get a more handle, get a more grip on that. But that's only for some of you. For others of you, you've already got it down. You don't got to worry about that. Spirit's just wanting you to take more rest time and take more intentional mind clearing for the purpose of balance, for the intention of balance. This is you right now. You are on fire. You are in your power. You're doing what you need to do, whether it's passions, creativity, sexual desires. Wands, fire speaks about primal energy. So you're getting in touch with your true self, your primal self, your root chakra and your sacral chakra. Candle magic, fire magic would be good right now for you. Working with animals or just hanging out with animals is good for you right now. Hanging out with trees, hugging trees, talking to trees. Talk to the wind, speak to the wind. Sing to your water. Singing to your water infuses it with healing energy and light energy. 9 of Wands tells me you've got stresses and burdens in the material world right now. don't put too much energy and focus into worrying about that. Karmic stuff is coming up in these stresses and burdens. The main thing to do is to keep your balance, keep your clear mind, keep your temperance. Say it out loud. I have a clear mind. I have balance. I have temperance. I easily get these things done. I easily am able to take these burdens. I don't let these things consume my life. I don't let these things consume my mind. I don't let anxiety or worries or doubts consume me. You are meant to be facing these karmic cycles right now, but you're also meant to not be letting them take over your life and cause doubts and make you give up or put you on a setback. These are just meant to show you, hey, you still got karmic stuff going on. You still got stuff you got to work on. But that's in the material world. If you can detach from the material world while doing what you need to do and stay balanced in the material world, it won't even be stress. It won't even be anxiety. It won't even be worry because you'll be doing it. You have the faith in yourself that you're doing it. You're doing it. It's already done. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm going to end your reading there. Watch out for karmics. Watch out for karmics because this reading was specifically about karmics watching you. So watch out for them. She's attracting them. Does that make sense? Okay. Love you guys. Send some love to your spirit guides, ancestors for me. Okay. Bye.